I will say the more of them that you already have going into a special month like this, it does make it a bit more dull because there's nothing for you to try to get.
I mean, the new
That's a
cards.
money-saving month.
Well, yeah.
So how is that dull?
last
That's a
I
pretty
can't.
good point. I
Yeah,
That's my
can't lie.
that's my fucking
I was
favorite
just
part.
gonna I was just gonna like try and smoothly go past what Broken said because he usually makes no points, and I don't want to give him like credit, but that was well stated, sir.
Well, all right, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 12th iteration of the Roundtable Podcast. Pretty crazy that we've gotten this far. Hopefully, we can get through all the teens before everybody gets bored of this, because I haven't, and I know a lot of people in here haven't. So I'm gonna just go through the list of everybody that's here. Just say hey, I guess, when I say your name. So I have AJ with me,
Oh,
and then I have Broken.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you if you could leave that portion in where Cable Guy gave me a little bit of credit, because I need all that.
I will leave that in. Promise. Not a problem. GodFlow.
Everybody.
I have Cable, who is known as Merrick's Gaming on this server for some reason, but I have to move you up to Cable.
What's up? And Broken is lying. What he said never happened. I have never given him credit for anything, nor will I.
That's fair.
And finally, we have Sam.
Yep.
Sweet. So let me get
Hey,
the
mate.
topics. And let's just go on and start talking about where we all finished last month, and the pretty much the Walter bomb of shards towards the end. It was pretty fucking nuts, if I do say so myself. So where did we all finish up last month with Walter, with the free card, with Dunn?
Done. Oh, thank God he's done.
Yeah, just every time I think about it, it just hurts my insides.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anyone wants to talk about where they finished last month, definitely feel free.
Well, I got got him the 4-star gold. It was weird playing with him when he got to that level because it was like he either defeated people easily or got completely demolished. There was no in between. So I'm not sure. Maybe he ranks a little higher than we were putting him, but I doubt it. I did get Walter pretty early in the 4th week due to the Walter bomb, which I will say, everybody, I told you so. You could check everywhere. I said it's going to be like the Sasha event. There's just going to be money Walter shards raining from the skies, and it actually happened.
It was pretty nuts, to be honest.
Other than that, last month is last month, and now zombies are here. Yay!
All right, that's
my
it.
done. My done is 4 gold. I maxed the MLC with about a week to go, and ended up getting Walter without having to purchase shards for real money. I'm amazed that they put so many shards out there available with prize wall currency towards the end. It was nice.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But I do find it interesting, though, that when we play as Dunn, he just sucks so bad, even at 4 gold. But when the AI was playing him, he made him look like a really decent superstar. And playing him the same way the AI played him, you just never got the same results that the AI got.
Nope. Because you gotta always remember the AI's goal isn't always to win; it's just to take health off of you. And that's why that card is great at taking health off of you.
And they get cascades from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
It's brutal.
magically will stop at 1 on the pin bar. You're like, did they just do 2 5 matches and it's still at 1 on the pin bar? What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every time.
But, Cable, where'd you finish last month?
So last month was stressful in the chase for me, right up until it wasn't even kind of. Obviously, with all of the Volter shards the last week, the month long was the hardest month long for me to finish in more than a calendar year. Like I barely maxed the month long. Spent way too much coin early trying to get those Walter shards that ended up not mattering and were tripled the last week. So I found that part frustrating. I really would have liked to have got his gear, but can't miss out on those prize wall resources. Like you just can't afford it if you want to keep maxing monthlies and leveling your guys. It's just no way. So I thought that was frustrating. I'm glad they added all the shards at the end. So few people would have got Walter, and honestly, I don't think the chase guy should be insanely rare. I mean, like if your faction maxes all the stuff and you finish all the stuff, you should get the chase. I think that's kind of what it's about without spending. So I was happy to see it. I don't think everybody and their brother has Walter. I think even though a lot of people said, oh, they're giving him to everyone, I don't think that's the case. So I was glad to see the shards. As far as Dunn goes, I have zero interest in ever playing him again. The +2 MP made him look way, way better than he is because you just get away without using MP trainers, and he absolutely needs 2 trainers to be even kind of viable, and even then he's only okay. So no interest in ever playing again. I stopped at 4-star silver without putting anything into him. And I wish I wouldn't have had to take him that high. He's the worst free character in I don't know how long, maybe since Powerhouse Dean, in my opinion. He's really bad. But yeah, other than that, I really like the plate at the end. I don't have it on anyone yet, but I like the potential. I think those kind of plates are cool. So it wasn't my favorite month ever. In fact, I thought it was a pretty rough month. And I tentatively was super excited about zombies, but we'll see how that goes.
For sure. Sam, talk to me. How'd you finish
Well,
last month?
To be honest with you, Don is a bit of an embarrassment to English because I can't believe what they've done with that character. I haven't even got him 9k yet.
Oh, wow.
He's still about 8, I think he is on my game. Yeah, he's got no coin in minute 4, but I took him 4B and stopped.
Nice.
He's terrible. The worst character ever.
I don't know about the worst. Ryback still
It was
exists.
absolutely shocking.
Okay.
Couldn't believe how bad they made him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
But,
for him.
but on a bonus, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, I mean, I didn't even hit the 400k milestone on the monthly, but the last milestone before it, miraculously, I managed to hit a 4SB Walter out of the blue boxes.
Yeah, you told me
So
that you
I
pulled
actually
them
ended
out
up
of the
with Walter.
safe. Yeah, at 4 bronze.
4 bronze. So I still haven't got over it yet, to be honest.
It's amazing.
So I actually got Walter doing nothing all month.
You lazy
It
bastard.
was kind of ridiculous. So as far as the month goes, embarrassing by Dunn, but an unbelievable ending with getting Walter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is I think he's going to be my main focus for the powerhouse now.
He's pretty kick-ass, I can't lie.
I didn't bother buying the gear. I used the t-shirts to restock. So I'll be going with the BBR moveset when I go to 5-star with him probably.
Oh, the 2 blacks, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a solid one too.
But all in all, yeah, done an embarrassment and then a wonder pull. So can't complain really.
Nice. I like that. So you didn't even give a shit about the Walter shards at the end. That was just fucking TP for you.
Just TP. All I did was fill the double black and red move.
You son of a bitch. That's funny. That's actually really funny. Oh man. All right. Well, So I finished last month. Took done similar to Cable. Took him to 4 silver, but didn't move him past that. It was just it wasn't something I wanted to do, but something I did to try and max the solo, which I embarrassingly spent to max the solo. Um, was one of the first times I was ever not going to max a solo in a long, long time, and I really wanted that plate. I maxed the solo by I think it was 500,032 points. I literally just hit it, and it was disgusting to say the least. I was not a fan of trying to go so hard for that solo, but I really did want the plate. I have it now for Earthquake, so I'm happy about that move. Outside of that, done. Yeah, like everybody said, not good. Not good at all. The 2MP that month really made him, like Cable was talking about, a shitload better. You can't run him without Matt and the Destroy Trainer, pretty much. Otherwise, it's just not viable. If you put medals on him, then yeah, maybe, sure. He
Give
becomes
him
an
that
okay.
the junkyard dog gear.
Yeah, but he's not that great. Walter, though, on the other hand, the Walter bomb at the end was nuts. That put me on track to get him. I got him. Didn't have to worry about spending to get him at all. It was only for the solo event. Ended up getting him in the end from that crazy amount they decided to plop down on everybody. It's just nuts how they do that type of thing. That it's last minute and it's all planned and this, that, and the other. It's stupid sometimes. I don't understand why sometimes they have to play with everybody like that. It's just
It wouldn't be nearly so. I think if they would release a roadmap for the month so we know ahead of time, I think a lot of players would be less frustrated. When you cannot plan for anything, it makes it sometimes more stressful when it should be fun since it's a game. And I feel like if we actually could see what was going to come for the month and plan accordingly, I think a lot more people would probably spend knowing that they needed X shards, so they'd pick up those deals. And two, I think people would enjoy it a heck of a lot more.
see, think about everybody that's already spent this month and isn't going to be spending for any of the other weeks that are currently out there.
Lies.
I mean, I'm not saying that everybody's that way.
Yeah. Speaking on which, though, on the roadmap is, I think it pissed a lot of people off that they put the Walter shards in the final coin events when they weren't in the previous 3 weeks, which that kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I mean, that's pretty much what we have right now is a guessing game, which includes something we'll get into when we get to the zombie event, speaking wise, of these the t-shirt currency or whatever the hell they are, that they're changing the deals every week and we have no clue what they are.
Yep.
So it's do you save? Do you spend? What do you do here?
Yeah, we could talk about that when we get there, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. With that, though, I believe on the last podcast, I think I said for the first time ever, I felt like I wasn't going to max an MLC. And I think I said I was 100K, 90K. I was some ridiculous number away going into the final week. I finished positive with 123 more than I needed.
Yeah.
So whatever happened in that last week, I have no idea. But like I said, it's just, here's everything. Here's everything we should have put into the first 3 weeks in a matter of 5 days.
Yeah.
I think 47.5 million coins to get the Walter shards for the final week because of how they put them in those coin events was a bit much. I'm a huge planner when it comes to the game and my resources, and I stay very focused. I know what I'm doing. I stockpile. I hoard resources in the game. But in order to make it through and complete every month and then be able to restock and do that same thing again the next month. And last month was very difficult to try to plan out when you're heading into the final. You think you're only going to be spending this much, and then it turns out, oh no, hey, now we're going to double what you had to spend. And heading in this month is just driving me absolutely crazy. It's causing so much chaos for me, since it's so hard to plan because they've completely changed it.
So yeah, let's
Well,
think
hang on there,
everybody's
Charlie Brown.
Walter, talk to me.
Yeah. So, I like many, I managed to get Walter after having already given up on him, like many others had done, because we found it to be an impossible trek to travel. I managed to squeak away with what everybody else wanted to do and only got my done to 4-star bronze with nothing else in him. And the only reason I was able to do that was because I literally just gave up on the month. There was no way I was maxing anything else. I continued trying to go for the solo because I was still on track for the solo. But other than that, I still did the coin events to where I was previously doing them, not to the shards. And it actually worked out and got me both the solo and the Walter. I didn't get his gear because, I'll be real, he's an NXT powerhouse. Unless it specifically says use Walter, I'm not using him.
I hate you and your Keith Lee.
Well, exactly. I have Keith Lee for an NXT powerhouse, and I have all the powerhouses right now. So, to me, he's not worth it. He's just there just in case they ever say, hey, you need Walter for this showdown. Other than that, I do think it's funny how they just gave out Walter shards. I know the reasoning. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the reasoning. I didn't know that they were doing it. I fought with them daily that there wasn't enough shards. There wasn't going to be enough shards. Too many people were too low. Too many people were bowing out. And they continued to say, trust us. And we kept telling them, you've never given us a reason to trust you. Why should we start now? But it is what it is. They got the Walter shards out there. There was a lot of people who were upset because they had given up slightly earlier than I had, and they either had to spend to get them, or they just didn't get them. I know quite a few people with over 1,900 shards that just refused to spend on them. But at the end of the day, you can hate me for saying this, and trust me, I will never defend Scopely. They are a business, and they didn't make money doing it this way. So it's like I keep telling people, don't give up, don't tap out until the writing's definitely on the wall. Just assuming things, that's when people start getting upset because they start missing out on things. And just hope for the best, realistically. And it's like I kept telling people anyways. Let's say you do get to 1,900 Walter shards and that's it. You missed out on Walter. You didn't really miss out on Walter. They have been pushing shards for recruitment so much lately in the past couple months instead of, okay, well, you got 600 shards of that character. Well, it's not going to make a difference unless you still pull the card. They have been focusing on the shard aspect of being able to shard characters together because we've been bitching that shards are worthless. Because anytime they're like, well, you get shards, you're closer to this character, I'll show them my 200 shards of Hogan. and say, yeah, well, this $1,000 worth of shards didn't get me anything. It's just a matter of finally getting heard on that aspect. So you never know. There might be a deal down the road. There's a deal in code right now for 20 zRoman shards on the prize wall. There's offers in the code for Beth Phoenix. Anybody who came close and did not get Beth Phoenix, save your shirts, because they're offering shards for her. So shards will come around again. Whether it's free or you have to pay for them, I can't tell you. And whether you're willing to pay for them or not, that's your prerogative, not mine.
Yeah, Broken. I'll agree with you completely. Everything I look at is long view in this game. If I'm patient, eventually I will get the guy. I make the decision at the time whether it's worth it for how much it's going to cost me. But eventually they all come around. Maybe not Hogan so far. I'm same boat as you. I've actually spent nothing on Hogan, but I've picked up his shards every time I could in events. I'm at like 950 shards, having spent $0 on Hogan. But I look at the long view, so I will fight for every shard, even if I don't think I'm going to get them. Take this event that we have now. I will get every shard I can. I will take the guaranteed zRoman shards from the coffins at the end when I know how many shards I didn't get lucky with in the bags. And I will get as close to him as I can. And I'm the same way. I'll fight for every shard and long view it. It doesn't always work out. I'm still plenty of Acro Macho shards from him, just as an example. But other times it does work out. So every shard I can get, I'll take, and that's why I'll always play every event as hard as I can till the end.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one thing that whales joke around about, well, they don't even joke around about. Some of your upper whales, they get pissed off about it, and there's kind of some accuracy to this. When you do a pull, let's take Zombie Roman, for example. Pulling for Roman, pulling for Roman, pulling for Roman. I finally get him. I just spent $3,000 and I just got him. Well, you just paid $3,000 to play with the card right now. In 6 months, it'll be free. In a year, it'll be free. Exactly. It may not be free for everybody, but when you do pulls, you're paying pretty much for early access. That's what it comes down to. Eventually, it all comes around. Look at how many people spent on all these mega superstars, your Bret Harts, your Bulldog. These were mega exclusive characters. I'm not saying they were good characters, but they were mega exclusive characters. And then when the 1 year anniversary of the game came around, they were all available at 1 star. And they were being pulled left and right. And the whales were pissed. They had these exclusive characters that now Joe Schmo just paid 99 cents and just pulled 2 of them. So,
I mean, yeah, Rikishi's pretty much a $20 pull now.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, everything comes around in time. It's, are you willing to put the effort in now to make it easier later, or it's all pretty much along those lines.
I don't know if everything comes around, because of, like you said, there are certain cards, like you were mentioning,
Hogan,
and so on and so forth. There are exclusive cards that do not come around.
Correct.
But like we said, that is where it makes sense that they need to make their money. There are exclusive cards that do not come around unless you do spend for them, and that is their access to making money.
I mean, look at Keith Lee, for example. It's no secret that I spent on Keith Lee, and then they didn't even use him in an event, and shortly thereafter, like he was never a required character for any events or anything, and shortly thereafter they have a pull for him where you could pull his shards. Like, that was pretty much the main draw to that pull, was pulling his shards. And a lot of people actually got Keith Lee like that. And it's like, well, fuck. Had I just waited, it would have cost me $100 less, $200 less, whatever it may have been. But Scopely's argument would be, well, you've had him, you've gotten to play with him, you've had access to him, you leveled him up, you got to feud with him, so you're paying for early access. And just remember that when you're doing polls, you're paying for early access. That is all you are doing.
Yep, 100%. And honestly, like the way they grow the game, the newest characters seem to always be the best characters. Some guys stay good for a very long time, but you're basically paying to have that 5% better card ahead of everyone else. And most of the time, it's not worth it, in my opinion. But for some people, it is. And you have to realize when you're spending that sometimes it's very quick turnaround where they become fairly cheap. Sometimes it takes forever. We'll take if you weren't a part of that Tapjoy thing, that was before I knew about it, and everyone got a bajillion cash and got the Trickster Andre. He's a super hard card to get, where an MP, he came out before Rikishi, and then you take Rikishi, they basically give him away. So there's really no rhyme or reason. You can't bank on what they're going to do with what guy. You just never know.
It's all a guessing game.
Some people got the cash from the Tapjoy thing and are still chasing Tandre thousands of dollars later.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
Demon.
Demon.
I got the cash and I had to use a partridge on Tandre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still hate partridges. Anyway, so that's pretty much how we all finished off last month. I think everybody's cool with wrapping that one up. Let's talk about this month. What's everybody's plans, thoughts of the free character, the monthly chase character? It's Zombies month. Who do you, I guess, who do you expect to try and get out of this month if you don't have them already? Or what are your hopes to get people out of this month? And then on top of that, I'd like to also discuss what we all think of the chase character. I think the chase character is an extremely interesting character and has a one-of-a-kind coach so far, which personally I will add my 2 cents now. I'm afraid they're going to release more monthly characters that are going to have similar coaches for different colors.
I think when you look at the coaches we see for the non-free guy, just talking about coach part here, you look at Zombie H's coach, super powerful coach. Roman's coach is great. I mean, like, you can toss that on any showboat that doesn't have a kick out that you're using all the time. You know, you can toss that on other guys when you're going against a protect guy like Dango. I think we're going to see that trend with powerful coaches this month on the non-free guys, and in the coach slot, that is very powerful, very, very powerful.
Yeah, it's an anti-trainer in a coach slot. Pretty nuts. But yeah, anybody want to go first on Zombies Month?
Sure. So I got the starter pack for Jeff. Bring him up to 2-star bronze just to get that hollow star taken care of right away. I'm going to take him up. I think he's a lot better than Dunn. However, I still don't think he's great. But that's just me personally. Maybe his bleed gets better. I haven't watched any videos for him in the future. I got Roman. Got him on a $20 pull. Got really lucky. My thought process when I got him was, I want to do a $20 pull as soon as I can when the loot comes live, because I have this thing in my head. It's just gambler's logic that After X amount of pulls, one goes out. After X amount of pulls, one goes out. Doesn't matter what server you're on, who you are, what you've pulled before, any of that stuff. I think they have a set amount that they want released, and after X amount, he goes out. After X amount, he goes out. So my thought process was, well, the loot's not live when it's supposed to go live. So I'll throw $20 at it when it does go live, because the calculator has now seen nobody has gotten him, and he's going to push out now. Worked for me. Don't think it's accurate. I think that's just gambler logic. But and the worst part is I had the choice. I could either do a 10 pull with extra goodies, or I can do an 11 pull with nothing extra. And I was like, no, you know what? I want that one extra pull, and I'll be damned, he was the 11th pull. So,
damn.
But as far as the rest of the month goes, I am only looking to get Zombie Taker at this point. I got Zombie Cena, hoping to get Taker, finish him off, and then get as many shards as I can for the rest of the zombies for March and or next year, whatever it may be. So, no anticipation on spending for every zombie to come out, because that can be a rabbit hole that none of us want to be in. As far as Triple H goes, I think he's slightly overpowered. That coach is a game changer. I'm definitely going for him. I advise everybody to go for him, especially people who hate fighting Zombie Austin.
100%.
But he does good against Dango in feud. Just hurts Dango real bad.
He'll be a great coach anywhere.
And anybody that uses purple MP is just really gonna feel it from him. So that's about it.
Yeah, I zombie months have generally been good to me. I'm just missing Z Taker, and of all of them, Zombie Seth. Interestingly enough, I think Zombie Jeff is going to be solid, kind of like Zombie Balor, solid. Zombie Jeff's going to have bleed. He's going to recycle. That's the kind of solid I like. You know, if they're not going to be a top tier, having one that recycles is a nice alternative for me. So I'll take Zombie Jeff to 4-star gold while the tokens are free, because I like having a zombie horde. All of my zombies are above 9k for when there's events like this, and they all usually get good 9k trainer abilities too. As far as what I'm hoping for out of the month, I am way too far from Taker. I won't get him, not planning on it. Hopefully I get some shards and get a little bit closer. Zombie Seth, maybe the shards will be more readily available. I'd like to go for him. I feel
Equal
like
odds.
Yep, I will probably do some equal odds pulls, depending what the shard output looks like for him. The whole month for me though is based on the chase guy. To me, it's a must-have. This is a chase character I can't miss. Looks to me like the best striker in the game when you factor everything in that he can do. So that's how I feel about it. The MP steal, the non-move in the pin bar, the 2 choose moves of the same color on a striker that's primary. He's got a bleed too, that you could potentially bleed, multiple times, not moving the pin bar if things went your way. So I feel like that's a must. I would be super happy if I could come away with one other of the new zombies this month. So if there's one where you can get close and so a little bit of a spend guarantees it, I'll pull that trigger, but I'm not going to pull for anything. I don't like the odds. They are not in my favor. So my outlook on the month is it's Triple H or bust, and for me to come away being like, man, this month was awesome, one other zombie would make me super happy with the month. Other than that, gonna get the shards and hope for Spring Outbreak.
Me personally, my month, I'm all out for Triple H. I think he looks a real good character, as pre-mentioned. I also think I'm going to struggle massively from where 2 years ago on zombies I was probably in front of most people. Last year I didn't hit any of the new ones, and not even close. So now I'm really behind. I'm nowhere near Taker. I'm nowhere near Cena. I've got nothing, not charge lights for Kane. So I think, although starting off well, I think I'm on 530 shards. Something now for Triple H. I think it's going to be a long month for me and struggle. Like I say, I'm not even close to picking up any of the other zombies. I didn't bother with the starter up pack, so I'm only at 2SS with Majestic at the moment. So I'll struggle on with him, getting him up. I'll take him as far as I possibly can. He looks, well, let's be right, he's 3 million% better than that horrible Pete Dunne effort that they did last month. As far as the plus that could come out of this month is I'm only 30 shards away from my 4SS fuse for Page. So I'm hoping to pick that up. That could be a good thing.
That'd be a great pick.
So if I can manage to get that 30 shards, that would be quite a monster pickup. That could be a plus for the month. But like I say, I think it could be a long month for me. I'm not close to any others really. Quite a way behind. Not going to give any shards for Rock. None for Zed Kane. Very low. 241 for Taker, I think. 180 for Cena, something like that. So yeah,
it's going to be a climb.
Could be a long. Although it started off well, I think it could be a long month.
I was 150 from Cena, and I got Cena. So I wouldn't say 150 is very far off, especially when you're killing my hopes, because I'm 225 away from Taker.
I'm 180. That's what I've got. I don't need 180. I've only got 180.
That's my bad. Sorry. You, sir, are a little far away.
That's what I mean.
Damn, so you never did that event, huh? They gave out a shit ton of Taker shards in that event.
Yeah.
They got everybody to like 500-ish.
Yeah, I think I'm at 241 Taker, I think it is. I'll check now.
Rough one.
Oh, well, that Taker, where is it?
Talk to me.
I'm
Flo.
probably in the minority that I love the zombies. They are my Pokemon subset of the game. I'm only 130 shards away from Zombie Taker now. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish him up. I'm only about halfway to Zombie Kane. I'm hoping maybe to get lucky on a pull for him this month. We'll see how all that shakes out. But I did buy the 3-star starter pack. It's a 5-week month. I wanted my perks as quickly as possible.
Solid.
So I do plan on taking him to 4 gold, just like I do all of them. I did find it somewhat curious that they gave us another tech. Not just that we had done last month as a tech for the free card, but also last year's zombie freebie was a tech.
Yep.
So I thought that was kind of a curious choice. I do like Zombie Triple H. I plan on keeping my streak alive for the Chase characters and acquiring him. I don't think it's any surprise that Purple MP is the one they picked first.
For anti-Z Austin, you mean?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily anti-Z Austin. I think it's so many of the top defenses in Showdown, a lot of them use purple. That seems to be the trainer that I move around the most is the purple MP. There's so many people that use purple MP. And it's not just the men, they've given us a ton of tricksters on the female side. And Mela seems to have climbed to the top of the game, and her best build at 5-star is all purple. So, so it's no surprise to me that for putting this trainer ability out there, that they picked purple to target first.
Fair point.
What do you guys, just random piggyback, what do you guys think the least used color is? I think I use blue the least as far as MP trainers.
Blue for me too, as well.
I use green.
I feel like green.
I'm gonna say yellow is the least for me.
Green
Blue for me, I
is
think. Blue.
Steel lives on Keith Lee, and I have not once said to myself when going into a fight with Keith Lee, "Oh, let me make sure that my MP trainer's on him."
I move green and blue quite often. I don't have an issue with either of those, but yellow I don't have very many people that use yellow.
That's
When
funny. I feel
Purple
like
are the two I move the most.
I think I move Acom the most.
I can't think of very many people that I would move him on, other than when he's needed.
Well, I would also say I'm right there with yellow too, because when I got the affiliation strap for Modern Showboat, I was like, oh, cool, I could throw that on Acom, and I could have 2 yellow MP trainers. And I'm looking through my roster, and I'm like, okay, well, I have nobody that uses a yellow MP trainer anyways. I actually had to figure out who he was even on, and I think it was a character I hadn't even used in like 3 weeks.
The last time that I had used Acom was the last time that Lex Luger was a requirement, because that's where he is right now.
Mine pretty much sits on Hogan.
So
I don't have Hogan, and mine, my yellow, I use him on Hall of Fame Booker a lot. And the biggest time that I'm moving trainers, in all honesty, is for feud, trying to put a feud lineup together. And then that's where the 2 MP trainers come into play for me. And I'm super happy that we've actually doubled up on yellow.
Oh, the only other place that and that's the other thing, so I'm kind of like Flo in this regard. It's not actually on Luger, it's on Earthquake, because I'm using Earthquake to farm.
Yeah, that's what my steel sits on Earthquake until I get max perks. Then I get to put Breeze, and Breeze covers both colors for me.
Yep. Quake's awesome for that reason.
Yes.
I use Shamrock and +2 perks, and that's the moneymaker.
I just like Earthquake's one click and run away. Or when I have max and when I eventually get Big John up to 9K, I can use Hogan instead.
No doubt. However, if
Steals,
you get Earthquake
my steals on Vader.
Gold, you get him at
I've got the gear.
With the gear, and you get him with Shamrock and +2 Tor perks, you can farm like hell 170-ish. Turn 1.
Yeah. He's a beast.
All right, I guess it's my turn to talk about how I'm slowly starting to hate zombies more and more.
I'll let you take it, and then I'll wrap us out.
Yeah, I was pretty optimistic that it couldn't have been worse. The last spring outbreak was just terrible for me. Everything surrounding it, I can't even think of a positive that came from that event. I guess it'd be that on the last day I pulled Cena 2-star bronze, which I guess that's a big. But
I like that event, man. That one gave me Z.
The faction I was in almost killed each other. They all actually right after that event is when I switched factions because it was so much overall stress. Everybody wanted to kill each other. It was a mess, and I think that might be what zombies starts reminding me of. But I went completely different starting the month. First of all, I think Jeff is going to be decent. I look back when I think zombie tech, I think Finn, and I loved Finn. one of the coolest things with Finn, I remember I teamed him with DDP in earlier showdowns, and I called it the Diamond Club, and completely killed. So I'm kind of excited that Jeff can hopefully rekindle some of that and have some extra stuff there. So I'm not sure if everybody knew, but when the event went live, they messed the blitz up. The Hell Blitz only required one person instead of the 3, so you didn't need your 3-star Jeff.
Yep.
So I knocked out 2 of those real quick before they could reset it. Got 2 of them knocked out. And then I'm like, I've been telling people, because everybody's like, October's going, we have to work on the zombies. We have to work on our zombies. And I'm telling people, I'm like, every month they've had a talent up during these weekend events. And it's going to be zombies. I'm telling you, it's going to be zombies. So I'm like, maybe it's not. You should save some of it for then. I pretty much saved all of it. My Cena's only sitting at a mere 3-star silver, ready to go. But with that, so I asked one of my buddies that bought the pack. I said, "Can you cover my blitzes for me?" And he did that. So I was like, plus like I said, I'm hitting these 3 pulls on the zombie loot. I won't say bad. I guess Brock and Owens aren't particularly terrible. But all the old zombies I hit at 4-star silver. Almost all of them, I think, but Sasha. So they're ready to start moving up. I can't find Kane. I don't have Kane. I can't find Seth. I don't have Taker, but I'm like 80 shards away. So I expect sometime this month I should get Taker. That should be covered. I seem to hit Taker shards a lot, like random 20 loots all the time and all the ones he's in. But so I just maxed Jeff out slightly. And then I said, I'm going to wait. Well, yesterday I finally I hit Jeff at 3-star gold. So now with that, this is a weird thing too. This is the first month. It didn't have any RNG. I believe, unless anybody can prove me wrong, it was impossible to get Jeff from 2-star bronze to 3-star bronze before the blitz ended.
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't impossible. I think you are right, sir.
Yeah, and I don't remember that ever. I remember. Okay. What was that?
It's never been possible to get into 3-star before the first blitz ended.
It was RNG before, and usually on the last day. Yeah.
I did it like 3 times in a row, and not RNG wise because it was the not shards, it was the tokens. You had to max the TP, and your faction needed to get to the like second to last blitz. They gave out shards instead this time, is why you couldn't.
In the TP, and that missing is what nerfed it to the fact that because that's what everybody's like. I'm going to wait. I'm going to do the Hells on the last day, and this is the first time ever that it's been completely impossible to do it. That I can think of, that I remember of. But that's my strategy now. Is now I get to take the Jeff up, and now I get to use pretty much my entirety of Jeff as zombie TP on the weekends. But unfortunately, I'm not sure. Hopefully the 4-star Brave for next week isn't going to be a long-term requirement. Hopefully it's just an added, and I only need like 3 people instead of 4. Because I don't think I have one. Yeah, probably. Maybe we'll only need 1. Who knows?
Yeah, if only. Zombie Triple H?
But Zombie Triple H, I think he's amazing. Especially people didn't even realize when he first came out that he has the move that doesn't move the pin bar, which just makes him. I mean, that's pretty much the top thing everybody's looking for, is that manipulation to where you can just hammer a guy and it doesn't take a turn, doesn't take anything. You got a chance to recycle. I mean, is there a plate out that recycles those 2 colors yet? Because if there is, good lord.
I think there is a a break 3 black, gain 3 red. Does that exist or no?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If anybody can look up that and see if they can get that. So here is my theory with his trainer. As a lot of you know, next week's theme is Z Austin. And I was having a discussion with somebody earlier today. I think everybody that's ever not had Z Austin is going to get a pretty fair, good chance next week.
I think a lot of people are going to get a fair shake, yeah.
Z Austin is about to flood the game. Everybody that's been having them, a lot of people that has had them forever don't even really use them anymore. But the people that have never had him, they don't understand where he is in the game. And they're like, oh, we're going to get this and we're going to stun the hell out of everybody. Stunners for you, stunners for you, stunners for grandma, you name it, they're getting it. So I think it's to counterbalance that is there's going to be the happiness of all the people that didn't have them. And then at the end, it's going to make more people. I need Z. Everybody has a Z Austin now. It's going to be the thing we need, which I wouldn't be surprised. I'm waiting for next month, week 1. It's going to be like anti-stuns for everyone.
Honestly, I think with every zombie getting bleed and significant bleeds, I honestly think they're going to either insert a coach that reduces bleed or start selling anti-bleed straps, because you're going to, I mean, that's my guess, actually.
I mean, they're gonna have to. Look at what they just did with
Seth.
Seth.
Yep.
The plate
Yes,
that
Seth.
I was thinking about was the green to red, by the way.
Yeah.
Not
You
black
ready,
to red.
Laurel?
But that still kind of works.
So
Yeah,
I
so
mean-
I'm hoping no anti-bleed, because right now I'm on the Socko train, and it's been pretty enjoyable.
Sokko's still
So
OP as shit at 5-star with the double finishers. It won't
Also-
be. It won't be.
I haven't even
but
touched it because I can't get off the bleed.
I get
Yeah.
that, but it's still very viable if you hit
I
500k with 4 columns of botch gems.
You're telling me he has other moves?
Yeah.
No, nobody tells me this stuff.
I wasn't paying attention, and I went in against the NWO Ted, didn't check to see if he had the strap, and he had the strap,
Mhm.
and I actually still won.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I had him down to under half life just because he does so many dang moves, and the nut kick hits for like 40k, and tagged in Z Kane and did one boss plate run and blew up the board and
Oh
and
yeah, that's easy peasy.
killed him. Yep. So it was
My
pretty
showdown defense has the anti-bleed on the spot 1 right now.
Your showdown defense isn't fair.
What do you run?
I've got NWO show with the anti-bleed and the boss plate, followed up by Sid with his plate as well.
Both at
Nice.
5-star.
Both at 5-star, both running double fury,
What's your
and
What's your in-game name? I'm wondering if I've ever ran into that team. I think I would remember, but
That
I
is-
have not seen you attack me. I have been attacked. I must say, I just got NWO show up at Talon Up to 5-star. I swapped out my defense, and I have been attacked 5 times total with 1 win. But I was getting attacked a lot more often than that prior to changing my defense.
You've attacked me before.
What even beat your defense?
Austin.
Was it really Zombie Austin?
5-star,
Keith Lee.
5-star Booker,
5-star Hall of Fame.
5-star Hall of Fame Booker twice,
Wow.
a 5-star MOTU Triple H, and a 5-star
That's fair.
Socko, followed up with an earthquake, and I am pretty sure he had to get to the earthquake to take me out.
Yeah.
that's
He
usually
was
who I
probably
run with
shocked when he
Taco.
hit me.
Yikes. That sounds like a brutal defense. I was talking to you about that for weeks, if not months. I remember that whole discussion, and even still to this day, it sounds like a terrible defense for anyone to have to face and go up against. It just does not sound fun for
The
anyone
only
to have
way-
to encounter.
The only way I will touch an NWO show is if he's not running the freeze move, or if they don't have 5 MP down and I can just fashion police him turn 1. Otherwise, it's just life's too short.
It's not worth it.
That's what he did to me.
It's just not.
I am
worth
not running. I am not running the freeze move because that will hinder Sid if he gets tagged in.
Right.
That's why I'm
No.
running the boss plate move.
hmm
The boss plate with the other moves. But he is running Fury so he can kick out. But if Sid tags in, it's over.
Yeah, I never want to run into your defense. That was what I was thinking about that whole time. Like all those weeks, that was the only thing I was thinking about. I was like, I never want to run into this. What's the one? Like what would I not want to run into? This. What would I not want to run into even more if you had that? And it was just like, you're like, yeah, boss time plates, no problem.
Which surprises me that I never thought to even try NWO show with Hogan as long as I was running NWO show as my defense.
It's really impressive to say the least.
Well, in the attitude link, it's 10% more on
Also
gem damage as
on
well.
yeah, you get all the gem damage. You have like 80% gem damage on both of them.
Cable, my in-game name is AJ Mad.
Okay, yeah, I definitely don't think I've seen you in Showdown, which is weird. I think I've seen most of the people in here. I know GodFlow and I have had Socko battles.
Sock fight.
Yeah, I haven't seen you show up in my wheel either.
So I'll finish off the zombie month. This monthly I don't really have plans for any of the old zombies. Kind of similar to Broken, except I know he was looking for Cena and Taker. I don't really care about anything there. If I get shards, I get shards. If not, it is what it is. My goal is to try and get as close as I possibly can to all the new zombies, so that when Spring Outbreak comes, I can hopefully pick up the majority of them. That's like my overall goal for the month, thankfully. Outside of that, I'm pretty impressed with Jeff. I think the tag link for the bleed move is going to make him pretty decent and pretty viable at higher levels for this year. That seems to be a running theme this year for all these zombies, is that they're going to all have a bleed move, which, I mean, yeah, that seems to be a new interesting theme. Striker Seth got a new 13k ability, which gives all that extra bleed damage percentage, in case anybody wasn't aware of that. It's shaking out to be an interesting month. I've always kind of been a fan of zombies. I know people haven't really liked them because it's not wrestling and this, that, and the other, but it's a game. It's a game, you know? Play the game. You're playing the game to have fun. What's up?
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. I love the crossovers too, like the Master of the Universe. You can't tell me the first time you saw a Taker powerbomb someone out of the ring, you didn't enjoy that.
No, it was amazing. It's still hysterical whenever you see it again.
I was confused.
Right.
I think I was actually on the thing with Hot Rod, and I was like, did he just toss his ass out of the... Yeah, that's what happened.
It was rough, man. I fought one of them at 4-star gold with my Aleister Black in feud, and you get tossed out of the ring. It ain't fun. You remember that experience, getting tossed out of the ring.
Psychological warfare.
It's so true. But yeah, I ended up getting the $20 pack, the 2-star bronze Jeff starter. I didn't go for the 100. I was thinking about it. Ben thankfully talked me out of it, because even though I could have gotten the 3-star, it's not the end of the world. 2-star, 3-star, same thing. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm still going to work them up throughout the month, and I have no issue in doing so. I'll farm out green TP if I need to farm out green TP. And I'm already I've already built that into my plans for the month, because, as has been said, last month was a technician as well for the free character that you had to work up throughout the month. So it's been a real drain on green TP in that sense, but I'm gonna work them up because it's going to be worth chasing the monthly in this particular event. Outside of that, I think what my general plans are gonna be is that I'll look at the card that's a new card this year. If I like it, I'll probably do one pull and give it a stab. And if I don't get them, then whatever. If I get them, great. And that's what I'm going to limit it to. But outside of that, I'm going to mainly just try and get as far as I possibly can on the shard front, and prep for, hopefully, if there is another Spring Outbreak event. As for Zombie Triple H, huge sigh, very upset. Monster looking card. Makes my favorite striker in the game look and hit like a peanut. And even though they're different, even though they use different trainers, it's still a killer for me. I really did not expect to see a crazy version of Big Kev, especially with a move that doesn't move the pin bar. When you have a card like that that does that type of damage, that's picking his primary gem not once but twice, it's obscene levels of damage. Especially when you get medals on there, especially when you get Fury on there, you don't have people kicking out. You just don't.
There's going to be no shortage of red guys to steal from either, too.
The thing is, you can steal from him if you're using him, and you'll get your don't move the pin bar move ready.
Mm-hmm.
So he counters himself. It's really rough, to say the least. Looks to be extremely powerful, and I think, like as has been said previously, if you have the potential to go for him, you should. And even if you don't have all of the zombies, you should at least make an attempt to move for this card this month. And that is just on behalf of the card as a wrestler itself in the game, in the ring. Outside of that, his coaching ability is top tier. That's not comparable. The fact that they came out with this new type of ability, it is the anti-MP trainer as a non-trainer. That's not fair, honestly. Because you can use that on essentially anybody. There's no requirement of, oh, this only has to be used on a striker because Zombie Triple H is a striker. It's anybody. Regardless if you're going in Showdown to now fight your Zombie Austins who won't have any starting MP, or in Feud, or if there's any sort of anything in any lane buff that gives purple starting MP for whoever the bonus might be for, whether it's Godfather or Dango or, again, whoever, it's not going to matter. This card is going to be a game changer for any level of account, whether you're at 20k, 200k, or 2 million roster talent. It makes no difference. This card is honestly a must-have. That's what I truly think of that card.
No, I agree completely.
On top of that, not gonna lie, animations look pretty fucking badass. And for anyone that hates Triple H's long-ass animations, they're not long.
No more hammer.
Oh, no. He brings out the hammer. He just
hits you in the face.
He just fucking nails you in the face with the handle and then throws it away.
It's awesome.
Oh, he doesn't do the hokey pokey?
No, there's no hokey pokey. He brings in a hammer and nails you in the face and then throws it over the fucking top rope. It's real brutal, real quick.
It's awesome.
He hits thick, to say the least.
What has been the recent obsession with releasing cards where the way to counter those cards is those cards?
I'm not sure. Carmella, Big Kev, now Zombie Triple H, Elias counters himself. A lot of the MP counter cards counter themselves. It's weird. It's because if they have decent moves that they can actually use and utilize the MP, that's when it becomes viable.
I want to see two Tozawas fight with both of them using both MPs still.
Yeah, that's not worth it. Because we all had to do that during his monthly.
Like, I want so bad Tozawa Ninja Gear that makes him OP. I would use that card and I would love it.
That would be awesome.
Increase all his multi-gems by ×8. Make him something just monstrous.
I'm still waiting for Truth and Little Jimmy.
I was just gonna say, and then bring our Truth and have him have some kind of gimmick link with Tozawa Ninja or something. I want both those guys.
24/7 champions.
24/7.
Start with +4 blue MP because they're acrobats and always on the run.
Exactly.
See, could work real well.
It's actually surprising that our Truth is not in the game. He's a pretty loved superstar.
If anyone hasn't noticed, by the way, I just want to point out that Zombie Triple H is now in the safes in the solo milestones. They took Jeff Hardy and put Triple H in.
No, why? Anyway, I'm teasing.
I was gonna say, okay, that would be extra shards, buddy. You know, just don't recruit them and wait till you get them and they're extra shards. Why are you so mad for?
No, I'm not. It means Sam can do another one and then just slack off this month.
Another little side note to this month that I forgot to mention. As you all know, I hate farming. I do not farm.
Yeah.
And in the talent up, I was struggling. I needed to find 500 purple TP to get Champer up.
Yep.
I did all the victory tours. Got all the TP. Kept it all together. I hit them all. Not one purple TP.
Oof.
So then I get all my T-shirts. I spend them all on the TP packs. Not one poxy purple TP point. Not one. So then I used 130 auto clears. I did the Thursday tours and I still needed 150. So yes, I had to actually farm.
Oy.
Man, that's
Unbelievable.
That's
With all that TP, out of all the victory tours, out of all the packs in the store, and not one poxy purple TP.
That's a punt right to the ball bag, man.
Oh man, that's a brutal one. Oy. Oh man,
Not even one. Not one.
that's just rough. Anything else anybody wants to talk about on the month on Zombie Triple H, Zombie Jeff plans?
Ooh, no plate in the month-long milestone this month.
No plate. It's a skip turn strap for zombies.
Meh. I'd rather have a plate.
No, I just clicked on that.
But for any zombie?
I have like 4 of those, so.
Yeah, you're not gonna want to throw that on like Triple H as a legendary belt.
I mean,
definitely throw that bad boy on him. Toss the aftershock skill plate on him. Bam, bam.
I
That
mean-
motherfucker's taking out everybody.
I mean, you may have a point there, slightly.
Sorry.
It's fine.
That's 2 today.
You know what, Broken? You can take your once in a month being right twice on the same day and shove it.
You know what? I think I will. Thank you.
Did he just pass the scepter?
I sent you something in the chat, Broken. You can stick that in a creative place.
So,
Can you define what it is?
I am not entirely sure,
Because I can't come up.
but I can't stop looking.
Yeah, the longer I look at it.
You two are ridiculous. So anybody else on the month of zombies want to give everybody a fair shake if anybody else has anything to say? No? Alright. So let's move on to Roman. Zombie Roman.
That's an
event.
inchworm, by the way.
That's what she said.
What does everybody think of Zombie Roman, guys? Talk to me about the card. Talk to me about
Pre-Roman
the
or
event.
post-Roman?
Zombie Roman. Post-Roman, clearly.
The only one we actually have, sir.
Well,
Depends who you ask.
well, no, I know. We could talk
I
about
mean,
the whole
in
goof.
fairness, the first thing I did when I pulled them, because I was probably one of the first to pull them that I had seen anyways, is I went right back into the Scopely chat and asked them if they could unnerf him, please.
I thought the same thing. I was like, you know what? I was all kind of for this, and I'm gonna pull this son of a bitch. Watch.
The thing is, like, I don't even care. I've mentioned this in every chat. I don't care if I have him or not, because my intentions are that I'm going to get him one day.
Yep.
And I'm not planning on encountering that many of him. I'm expecting he's going to be like Adam Cole. How many Adam Coles have you guys all fought since his release date?
No.
Zero.
Wow, crazy.
But everyone who fights me will fight him.
It's
You know
just,
what, Broken?
Like, I get it. I understand.
I've
that.
seen about 400% more of these Romans than I've seen of Adam Cole. That's for sure.
I agree. I've
That's
seen
true.
a lot of
There's-
Yeah,
Romans.
yeah. I
been a
keep
good
seeing
chunk.
Romans pop up, and we're not even 24 hours
Yeah,
in. So
but I think to be fair, no one hardly spent on Adam Cole loot because he wasn't that amazing. And yeah, this has got all kinds of other zombies in it. I'm seeing tons of pulls, but mostly Rock and Austin 316 shards.
It's the Rock and Austin Shard loot.
yeah,
That is insane how many of those shards. I've seen pulls where they did a 40 pull and that's all
Yep.
they got.
Yep.
Was shards for those 2 people.
I just think so many people are pulling. That's why you're seeing Romans. I don't think the odds are good, like at all. And most people are just getting hot trash. But, I could be wrong. That's just my thought. On the poll.
When it comes down to it, yeah, maybe you're going to see a couple more Romans than you're going to see Coles, but I'm not concerned of it either way. Because even if I did come like encounter it, there has to be a way around it. There's still ways around what you're doing, and if you use someone that has a submission specifically or whatever it may be, there's still ways around it. That's what it comes down to.
To me too, Bob, pre-nerf anyway, he was just another stun lock character. I mean, just another guy you got to stun lock. No different. If you don't stun lock Z-Kane with Boss Plate, you're done. You know, if you get, there's just some guys you just stun lock or you're dead. He was just another one of those guys. So I didn't think he was too OP compared to other guys, you know, when they're set up. I mean, he is probably the best card in the game, or top 3. I said that from the beginning, but even nerfed, screw it. I don't care.
He's
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Don't get
awesome,
me wrong.
fun card. Yeah, if I got him, I would level him. I'd use him, and I'd beat a ton of people with him. He's a great card.
He's very versatile still at this point. I'm not arguing that. The only issue that I had is the way that they nerfed him was they nerfed the MP and the heal. It should have been one or the other.
I think it should have been both. Personally, maybe 200,000 on the heal, just to be an asshole. But to be able to kick out literally every turn for all the damage you took, unless you put him into danger, which it's a showboat, so it's not going to be easy to throw him in danger turn 1. That they did need to do something about it. Obviously,
I agree. The 1 MP was just kind of ridiculous. It's like punching a sponge repetitively.
I'm still gonna argue it because there's characters out there that can definitely work around it. There's stun lock, there's massive damage, there's non-pin bar movement characters, there's bleed characters that don't move the pin bar also.
I mean, sure, but I mean, you look at it like this: you get 1 wild card, and it's full again anyways.
Yeah, but think about it in reverse. The guys that turn 1 hit you for freaking million hit points. How is that not OP'd, right? Like, we all complain that showboats can't do the damage. They're not good, you know? Then you see freaking in Feud, you get hit with a perk guy at, like, turn 1, and you're eating, like, 500,000 to 1 million to the face. So
I don't see it being too much at all.
Yeah. So to me, it's just the showboat version of that. So we're going to make you actually kill this guy. And, oh, by the way, now instead of not being able to kick out of a 200k pin, he can get out of it and heal. So I don't think he was too OP personally. I think if I'm going to play a showboat, there should be some advantage that's actually an advantage. Because right now, what's the advantage to playing a showboat? We all complain they suck too much. So
they have health.
Yeah.
It's the protect gems. They have the health.
Right. But, I mean, list of showboats you'd actually use. Go. Quick.
Zombie King Dango.
And
NWO
show. Yep.
And Showboat Flare.
I hate him.
That's only one of Legends required.
When he's required, yeah.
I use Booker a lot.
When Attitude is required.
There's quite a few that people use.
Yeah, I'd only use Booker if an Attitude Showboat was required.
When they're required, that's what it comes down to. But when you have a free choice, you're never going to put a showboat in an open slot.
NWO show rocked the open slot the entirety of last month.
I put Kane and Dango in an open slot. So
I will, but I don't have a lot of the I don't have the Hogans, I don't have the Keith Lees of the world, I don't have those kind of guys. So I'm not saying showboats are bad. I happen to love them. I'm just saying compare how many good ones there are to, let's say, how many powerhouses, for example, you could take in wreck face. So,
compare them to strikers.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many other open
with the
slot
exception
characters.
of Socko, I would put NWO show in over my entire roster, and that includes Hogan.
That's insane that you would put Show over Hogan to me.
He holds, he does whatever I need him to do. I mean, Hogan is you're getting the same thing every time, and if their armor nerfed, then I mean it's just bashing ahead. With Show, I can heal, I can sub, I can make the gem board. I'll steal your goddamn gems. I'm blowing up the board every turn. I can, if it's showdown, I can. I blow up the board. Whatever color I need to charge the next guy. I mean, NWO Show is just he's that ridiculous. He really is.
I guess, man. I couldn't think about bringing a showboat into my open slot. I wouldn't do that. Maybe, but I just don't think I would. Even with Kane, like I'd rather bring in Austin instead of Kane.
No.
Unless you have boss time played on Kane, which is okay, sure, but I'd rather also do boss time played
Well,
on
I have the boss
MW
time on
MDM
show as well.
or MDM, sure, or show, yeah, sure. But like, Broken, you have Keith Lee. I would definitely see you doing Keith Lee over Z Kane or Dango.
Oh, sure.
Like,
But that's because Keith Lee is literally just a cheat code in this game.
I mean, yeah, but like that's certain cards
That's
are
what
cheat
we're
code.
saying
My
about-
Macho is a cheat code.
Roman.
Like that's what we're saying though, because why could Roman not be a cheat code? That's the issue that I'm having here.
That
I don't see an
finisher is a
issue.
really high charge, being 12. You're never gonna get it off turn 1, I don't think. I haven't really looked at Roman. To me, the appeal's more in, and I have to get it clarified with the Furpinator, exactly what his coach is and does. If it's just moves that kick out,
Kick out moves or kick out gem damage.
or just kick out gem damage.
Well,
Gotcha. So, like,
test it out.
I could see the thing with him being like, you're not going to use health pack. Go take him anywhere, and you're not going to use health pack. I think that's more the reason he was nerfed. That guy alone, I would use him for just about freaking everything. You'd never use health packs.
Yep. That's exactly what I would do, and that's exactly why I think they did it also.
Same.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly worried because Sokka would handle him pretty easily.
That's the thing.
But,
unless he
but-
had some type of strap that was anti-stun or anti-bleed,
Bleed.
you would just use the other one. If you couldn't bleed him, you'd stun him. If you couldn't stun him, you could bleed him. There's still ways around it. That's why I just didn't see such a big issue with the nerf. Like, if he came out into the game, he had everything displayed. I didn't see the reason if he was going to be released that way why they needed to change him. And again, it's not like everybody's going to get him. Everybody has to work hard as fuck to get him. Even if you have all the requirements in the showdown thing, you can't get to the final milestone.
Because the precious Hogan lost.
That's why.
That's probably more of it, actually.
That's honestly why. Because I don't know if anybody watched, but I'll spoil it. On Gerson's video that he pulled, he went and got permission from Scopely and the opponent that he went up against to fight them in showdown to test out the new character. And the zombie Roman prior to the nerf went up against a strapped up powerhouse Hogan who was tag team with Mr. T and was turn 1 with the red yellow moveset. Never used the red buff, unfortunately, which would have been interesting to see if they did use the red buff, if it would do damage even through the kick out. But they didn't. But G went for a swipe on like some blue match or whatever. Hogan's turn 1, blows up a row, gets the Axe Bomber, hits the 7 or 9 or 11, whatever wild cards, hits him for like 380k. G kicks out, gets all of his health back because it's the 1 MP buff, or the 1 MP move, and then goes for like a yellow swipe. And then Hogan does it again. Like rinse and repeat of just Axe Bomber, 430k damage pin, knocks him down. 1 MP kick out, full health. And gets another blue match. Does the whole thing. Hits him for like 1.2 million damage total. Like, it was 370k, 430k, and then another 410-ish k. And G kicked out all 3, finished with full health, and hit Hogan with the finisher finally, and Hogan couldn't kick out of the protect gems. And that was it.
Yep, it's because it was against Hogan, and that's like still,
That's
it's going to be for a long time. Yep, their moneymaker.
That's their fancy schmancy, and they made him look like he was pointless.
Which is silly, because there's 2 powerhouses, in my opinion, better than Hogan.
No argument there.
But
Well,
yeah,
my question
the
is,
moneymaker.
my question is this: they have been. I tend to try to pick up on trends within the game, so that way I can, because I'm a long-term planner. You know, they started pushing us to need to get people to 4-star to be able to complete the tours. We saw that coming. We knew we were going to have to work people up. Now the trend seems to be they're pushing us to have to be more strategic and situational for, oh, you can't just take one person and go kill everybody. They want you to have to swap your people out to, if you're going against this person, well, you need to swap over to this person. If you're going against this person, you need to swap to this person. So that actually furthers, if they'd have left him alone, it would have pushed more people that direction. And that seems to be the direction they're pushing us. Do you guys see the same thing?
So I do. When you think about Feud now and the fact that you get so many bonus points for a unique win, they're really encouraging you to use a much vaster roster. You can't just pound someone with the best character in the game and score a high Feud score anymore. You get like, I found run a low roster and have a guy that can win with everyone, and I'm scoring huge Feud points not using as many health packs, let's say. So I think 100% you're right. You got to put some thought into what you're bringing, how you've strapped them, how you've plated them, and then also who you're fighting against, you know. So, which I kind of like. I like to think I'm smarter than the average player. So the more strategy they add to it, the more it benefits me in general. But some people are definitely going to hate it. But I like the more in-depth this game gets, the more I like it. But I think you're 100% correct. That's definitely a trend.
I think they're trying to push it more that direction for Showdown so that it's not everybody's running the fashion police, everybody's running Hogan and T. So once everybody figures out the counter for those small number of high-powered tag teams, you're pretty well set on Showdown as far as your offense. By introducing more players, it makes it more characters that maybe standalone or not necessarily an actual tag team. It makes you have to think more, and you're going to have to change it up, and you're going to struggle a lot more until you get into that mindset. And again, it's going to cost you a lot more health packs.
I have to agree. I'm interested also to kind of backpedal just a tiny bit to what everybody was talking about previously regarding the monthly and the prize wall shirts.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
My 2 cents on that. First part, it's two-sided, and I guess because of where I'm at, there's a third side. First side, you're going for resources. If you're going for resources, you've decided in your mind that there is no big ticket item worthwhile saving your shards for on this month, or your shirts. And that includes, like Broken had mentioned previously, shards for Beth Phoenix. You've just decided there are no big ticket items that you want to chase, and this month is strictly a resource month. That is the first mentality to have on this month. And if you're doing that, you should get resources every single week, coin and TP, starting from the low end, because the higher you go this month, it is a worse ratio. That is the first mentality to have. And if you have that mentality, that's totally fine and that's totally respectable. Keep in mind, though, if and when something big comes, you will not be able to get this. And that includes those Beth Phoenix shards, or anything else that may be big ticket items, zombie related or not. Second mentality to have, you're short on a couple of people, and such as Zombie Roman or Zombie Cena or whatever it may be, they're going to release different shard packs or gears for zombies that are going to come out during the month. And you
The
want to
Drew
save
shards with cash back.
everything, whatever it may
Yep.
be, the Drew shards, the Beth Phoenix shards, the Zombie Kane gear, not the Zombie Kane gear, the Powerhouse Kane gear, the Zombie Cena gear. There's expected to be other gears throughout the month as well that are going to be popping up in the store. So, the second mentality to have, you don't have all the zombies, and you're saving specifically in case they come out with shards for zombies that you can spend prize wall shards on. If there are big ticket items, such as Drew shards, Beth Phoenix shards, etc. that come up, that is what you're stockpiling your stash for. And you're debating, there's a lot of people that want Zombie Seth, for example, because he was still a mega. That may be a card they release 50 shards for 8 or 9,000 prize wall shirts 1 week. You never know. So that's the second path. The third path, which is, and I'll speak on behalf of where I'm at, and unfortunately where Broken's at as well, is you pretty much have all the zombies available, and you don't really care about the weekly resources because of the ratio that they've given back this month comparatively to previous months. And therefore, you're going to save up for either one of two things, which is a big ticket item that you're not aware is in the future that's going to possibly pop for 50, 60, 70,000, 80,000 prize wall shirts, or B, you're going to just purchase everything off the prize wall in the last 2 weeks. And that's it. Those are the three mentalities that I have in this monthly, and the shitty side of it is there's no real way to plan because, as has been said, you don't know what's going to come out. Drew and Beth Phoenix are not zombie related at all, but their shards came out this month.
It's a sign. No.
Like it's terrifying because like I'm 200 Sasha shards short. Wow, that's hard to say.
Yep.
And she one of the best females in the game. Great tag link with Bailey. Super. I have her gear. Like if they came out with her shards and I didn't have to spend money for them, and I could get them with T-shirt back coins, I would kick myself for having spent them. Keith Lee, I'm short of. Probably wouldn't be enough to get him, but it would get me a heck of a lot closer. Game-changing powerhouse. Like Eddie at Trickster, I would love. And then, like you're saying too, Bob, this is what we're seeing at the beginning of the month for like 20k, 15k. Kane is an insanely powerful gear. You imagine what they could potentially throw out there if you saved your coins the whole way. You never know with Scopely because sometimes they just do crazy freaking stuff. We could see a full card potentially.
I'm expecting something crazy like a Volkov gear for 65,000 prize.
Oh, don't say that. I already got that. This is killing me most because I pretty much have the T-shirt coins to probably buy the 3 major gears that are announced or at least in code announced. So I don't have any of the 3, Big Red Machine, Kane, or the other one that I'm not sure is announced yet. But I have no clue what to do. And I got like a day, 2 days to figure it out.
For this weekend, yeah.
It's like I have all these now, and I could pick. I mean, I could pick up the Kane and still have a good bit left. But what if it's a big giant? But then again, what if it's Volkov, which I already have, and then I'm sitting there banging my head off a wall?
Why didn't I get that Kane gear, right? Yeah.
Why didn't I get that Kane gear? I'm like, Kane makes it a different character. He's required all the time. I absolutely hate him. I don't really want him. But then there's Cena, who's on the up and coming, which it doubles damage. It makes him quicker,
the gear is
etc.
Okay. I'll talk to you on behalf of actually having the gear. It doesn't make a difference when you use him.
For
Agreed.
Cena?
Yeah, it doesn't make a single difference when you use him. The fact they charge that much for it is obscene to me. The Powerhouse Kane gear, if you were going to pick up a gear, for sure take that one because, like you said, it makes a new character. Cena is a character in his own right, and the gear makes no difference.
So what would we rate, let's say, Kane and Austin's gear at then?
Z Kane or Powerhouse Kane?
Z Kane.
Z Kane's gear is a waste. Actually makes the card worse in my opinion because you have less yellows to latch on to your red choose move. It actually makes him worse in my opinion if you have his gear.
What about Z Austin?
Z Austin's gear is absolutely top notch. It's, I would say, almost on par with what's his face with Junkyard Dog gear.
Think about it. It makes essentially your silence gems. It's making them 3 times multipliers that can't be nerfed.
It's awesome. I look at the damage that Demon does, who has the gear, and I do not have the gear, and it makes a huge difference in the duration of battles.
It's night and day.
So let's just say if Z Austin gear comes available and the Big Red Machine Kane gear, which one do I get?
That's a tough decision.
Which one are you going to use more?
I will
Neither.
Say, well.
So if you're not going to use either very often, I would suggest getting Big Red Machine gear because that gets you a new card.
And it's cheaper.
And I would put the caveat out there that the new store structure that they're putting out for the new tours that they're releasing into production
had a picture.
We don't know that gear is going to be in there, and it looks like it's random from the bag.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I'm just saying it appears that there will be another avenue to get Kane gear.
That's true.
My question is, it's a 5-week event. So they're putting everything out here week 1, coins, TP, couple of gears to kind of get everybody to question everything.
It's that trap.
Do we think Scopely's going to pull the Scopely, and then week 5 is going to have everything
Nothing?
available that was available weeks 1 through 4?
Oh,
I don't know if it's going to change each week or refresh. I mean, that's a possibility.
My thought is
too.
it's going to refresh. My question is, is it the smart play to save everything up to week 5, because then you'll have the choice of everything,
Or the
Probably
choice of
not,
nothing.
because
or the choice
when
of
you
nothing?
have 30,000 shirts and there's 15,000 shirts worth of coin on the wall, what do you do
Mhm.
then?
Right,
Or
that's
coin and
another
TP?
concern.
Now you're stuck with 15,000 shirts. You could have bought the Kane gear. You could have bought this. You could have bought
right.
that.
I think like week 4, if you got all your coins, I don't know how comfortable I would feel like going into week 5 with all my coins. You know what I mean? Like, because I could see that going so bad either way. But then at the same time, imagine saving till week 4 and you're like, oh, I'm going to spend now. And then week 5, the amazing thing comes. They really got us on this one. Like, 100% got us.
It's driving me crazy. I do not enjoy the chaos. I plan, and so this is driving me insane. It's not fun for me.
It's not an easy one. It really isn't an easy one. But honestly, it's gotta come. The real talk, the real deal. Like I was saying, those are the 3 mentalities you gotta have: resources, big ticket items, or you're someone like me who's going to be looking specifically for new zombie shards, and if there's anything else that's there, because I don't really need anything, thankfully. That's the 3 mentalities you got.
I kind of wish I didn't have enough, because then I wouldn't have the chaos in my head.
Right, yeah.
But the fact that I have the option, and it's like, do you want to push the button?
Right.
Oh,
Well,
it's
anybody
terrible.
without the Kane gear everybody has Kane, that doesn't have
The
a
gear.
really good powerhouse,
He's top
really
notch
should
with
buy
it.
the gear.
Mm-hmm.
You might see it again. Who knows? They might bring the gear back at the end of all of
But we've
the-
seen the Kane gear a lot. It's been on and off through different things. So, I mean,
It's-
I don't
it-
think it's something going away. But
It's been very hard to get every time, though.
It's been paywalled every single time, or an absurd amount of grinding, like in the Macho event. But with these new modes coming out, the Kane gear is in the is in the gear bag. So, do you want to chance it? And if you have 2 out of the 5 gears, you have a 2 in 5 chance of getting those awesome coat hangers that
well,
are in rare
If they're
supply.
weighted the same.
I don't have
Yeah,
any
if
of the
they're weight-
5 that they showed in that picture. So
I have 2 of the 5.
yeah, I don't have any. So I mean, that kind of works. For gears have not been my thing.
But if you're not going for Kane's gear, I would highly recommend going for Zombie Austin's gear. It really does make a big difference for him.
I mean, they have to stop using them in events eventually, right?
Well, here's something else to think of when debating the Zombie Austin gear. With the introduction of anti-stun, that doesn't mean stun characters are obsolete. You're still doing the damage for those moves. So the more damage that you can do combining all of your other moves together, you're still able to kill people that you would normally just stun lock. You're just going to take a little bit of damage along the way. So anything that helps boost their damage, then it makes it less of a hindrance when you run into an anti-stun.
Or if you sometimes you can miss your loop due to a bad board. If you kill them in 2 cycles of it, now that's
Right.
no longer an issue. Also, time is money in feud, so
I mean, you got to look at it like this. It takes on average 6 to 7 goes of Zombie Austin's moves. Maybe a little less because of the move damage. But it still takes at least 4 or 5 goes for the average player to be able to use Zombie Austin to take somebody out.
Mhm.
That's why everyone complains he's so slow.
Mhm.
Now you add
Mine
200%
didn't take
damage.
that long.
That's most people. So now that's 3 cycles worth of damage all in one.
Mhm.
With the gear, it generally cuts it in half, the number of cycles, just so you know.
For sure.
And I only know that 100% because, like I said, we have 2 players that sit on the same couch, one with gear, one without.
Yeah, I legitimately think the most I've ever done is 2 cycles with Zombie Austin, maybe 3 if it's a showboat.
Yeah, because you have the gear.
Same. But I sit here and watch Demon take people out in 1 cycle with the gear, and I'm sitting here going, well, that sucks. Mine's not hitting nearly as hard as yours. The catch to it is you have to make sure that even though you can't turn all of the gems, to purple, you still need to make sure that you're putting all of the silence gems out so that you're getting the full benefit of the gear. You just place them on purple.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
It's a
that's what a lot
multi-gem.
of people forget, I think. So they're not getting the full benefit.
It's a multi-gem. That's what people are not understanding, if that's the case.
Definitely.
There's some discussion about cane gear in the chat. When you guys are done with the Austin one, I can chime in on cane gear since I've had it for a while.
Yeah,
Go
talk
ahead.
about it. Feel free. Powerhouse Kane, man. You're the guy.
Okay, so I have both cane and both Earthquake 4-star gold with gears. I will use Earthquake first most of the time. However, when there are no perks in play, cane is an easy turn 1 guy. You can use a full MP trainer on Quake and he still is too. But the other thing with Kane is with perks in play, you can put Batista on him and you get the red move damage, you get the 1 red MP, and then you could run someone like Honky Tonk Man on him. So you can actually double armor, and I think this is probably a rare exception where I'll say a damage guy is better going with armor. You can run double armor on him and Honky Tonk Man, and then blow up the board. And very few people, can kick out as easy. So that's one option. Or you can double down on your red gem damage and throw like Batista and then like Mr. T or Barrett. So he has a lot of viability. He's required all the time. Certainly not mad. I think you'll never be mad. I don't think you got that gear. He may not be top 3 or 4 powerhouse, but if not, he's still, in my opinion, like top tier. He falls off maybe a little bit at 5s, but I don't think enough that it matters. And he's super versatile. So Austin is going to get faster. Kane gives you like a brand new card.
I was going to say
basically.
becomes viable.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It becomes viable
goes
versus a
from
little speed.
Right. Would I go Powerhouse Kane with gear over Walter? Ooh, that's a really good question.
I don't think so. I like Walter too much personally, but that's just me.
Walter with or without gear, or does it make a difference?
Without gear.
I think I would probably go Walter.
I hate Walter, and I'd go Walter.
I would go Walter over Kane with gear, but I don't have Kane with gear. I just have
I'd say Kane. I'd say Kane with gear because he does big damage recycles, and everybody's got a bajillion and a half shards.
That's another thing to consider in this era where we don't have resources.
Yeah, if resources are a factor, then yes, you would have to consider Kane with gear.
Also, I think there's no question that that Kane is going to be required more, and most of us have a leveled up Killian Dane that meets NXT Powerhouse requirement too. So, so there's that to keep in mind too. But I do think in a vacuum without things mattering, I think probably Walter. But at the same time, I do think it's pretty dang close, and Kane's going to be required way more, in my opinion.
I definitely have to agree with that, but I don't think either are a bad choice. If TP is a factor, then yeah, you should probably consider going Kane because it doesn't cost you any TP from how many shards everybody's gonna have, I think Walter's the overall better character with or without gear. That's just me.
I agree.
I think either moveset is fine. Mainly the black moveset, but I think even the traps without the gear would still be a fine enough moveset for Walter. Just very strong. Outside of that, back to the showdown event, because we're going to be wrapping up here relatively soon. What do you guys think about this showdown event compared to the Rhea event? It's pretty much the similar layout when it comes to the faction contribution of a bronze, silver, and gold star, but instead it's a coffin because it's zombies. The prize wall, in my opinion, is not so hot, especially for the people that can access the parts of it with those coffins. You need to be able to either spend to get up to there or have the requirements to get up to there, and when you get there, it seems like you would have already had everything that's in that prize wall. Wanted to kind of gauge what you guys all thought, especially in the change in the solo, for how attainable it looks to be and not be. Personally, I'm not a huge fan with the change downwards previously, compared to previously, I should say. I'm fine with all the requirements because I have all of them, which I know go fuck yourself too, Bob. But
I will say that nerfing the points for showdown coins, yes, they gave us a lot more showdown coins that we can get, but nerfing the points and making it to where there's no possible way to max through grinding, or even if you have all the characters, I think that blows.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say. It's literally one of the first ones I have an event with all the requirements, and it's like, oh yeah, you can do all that shit and still not even max it. Sweet, awesome.
I think when they nerfed Roman, they should have revisited the point structure and made it a bit more attainable for folks.
I don't know. Again, I just don't even think the nerf was fucking should have happened in the first place, and it's just the fucking event is just an example of that, a reminder of that.
They tend to go from one extreme to the other. So the Rhea event, I feel, was really good, and I think they felt it was too good. So they went the other extreme and said, well, now if you want to max it, you're going to have to pay. And I think they went too far the other direction.
Yeah, I do too.
Me personally, I'm missing 5 characters, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle. That's why I'm hoping to hit them page sad, so I'll talent her up and catch up a bit.
I'm looking forward to it. I just don't think I'm going to be able to max it. That is my concern. I really wanted to try and be able to get this new Roman card. Like I said, I think I'm gonna end up taking a stab at every new card that comes out. And by a stab, I don't mean a bunch of pulls, I mean a pull. And if I don't get it,
one?
then yeah, just one.
99 cents?
99 cents. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do a pull for it, but yeah, if I don't end up getting them, like I said, my plans are to try and get as many shards as I possibly can, and to prep for Spring Outbreak. That's the overall goal, because that worked for me last time. Got me Zombie Taker, got me Zombie Seth, got me all the zombies I was missing. Got me a gear for Zombie Cena, or got me a gear for Zombie Brock. Got a lot of shit in last Spring Outbreak, so I'll prep for, hopefully, again, if they're doing one in spring again, I'll prep for Spring Outbreak this month in October. I'm not going to get caught, like has been said before, I'm not going to get caught in the spiral of spending now for early access to the cards, when I'm planning on getting the card overall anyway, in the long term. Like, that's just not... I'll do, like I said, I'll do a pull, but after a pull, there's no point in continuing to chase.
This event sucks.
I have tons to say on it, so I want to make sure everyone gets to go first too, Bob.
I mean,
Okay.
sure.
My brief on it is pretty much the fact that it's the copy paste of the Rhea, and pretty much everything that was good they kind of like downgraded on. Like it's not possible to max. I don't think there's anywhere near as many shards available. They lied, and instead of making them 4-star bronze, made it 4-star silver. I believe that's what it's at.
It's
I haven't
not a
checked.
lie. It's subject to change.
Subject to change, yeah.
Silly
4-star
goose.
gold, 4-star silver. He changes every 5 seconds. He'll be 2-star bronze, but you're gonna have to catch it. It's gonna be right at 3:00.
Yep,
There's gonna be actual people looking for that now. Watch.
that's the key.
But yeah, just everything with it. I mean, it is kind of bitter. I'm missing 3 of the zombies. The 3 I can't seem to get: Seth, Kane, and Tager. So it's gonna be whatever for me. Hopefully, I'll have enough to get the silver coffin or whatever it is. It's gonna be hard to motivate a faction full of people when I can't motivate myself to be able to get the gold coffin. Just pretty much gonna be do what you can here and move along. Especially seeing as a lot of it's gonna be loot coin generated. But that's pretty much with me it. I hate it. I think everything good about the Rhea event. They went in the wrong direction. I can't think of a positive that they moved. Actually, if not on the event in general, but how they're going to deal with the bonus and the separation of the divisions when Showdown goes live, if it's what I believe it is, I believe there is an actual slight improvement there. But the event-wise, everything went downhill.
Broken? Sam?
What were we talking about?
Showdown event compared to Rhea.
Oh, yeah.
Broken's looking at the next round of polls to do. Give him some slack.
Chill. I'm just trying to find out where I could get Taker. Although I will say my 2K talent did, Zombie Cena did Hell Mode today. I was kind of impressed with that.
He's a top-notch
He's solid,
card.
dude.
Zombie scene is awesome.
Yeah.
Top-notch card.
But
I need 1 urn and he can go 5-star.
But all around and all together, I think this showdown is going to be a bigger abomination than the last one. If there are matchmaking issues like there was last time, it's just gonna suck for anyone who's trying to do anything. It doesn't matter what your defense is, there is a counter out there for your defense. Fashion Police, I'm not afraid of them. Keith Lee, your 98% gem reduction does nothing against my 400% or
Gem
almost
increase.
500% gem damage. So even Keith Lee being my defense, he ain't gonna be able to do anything if he does not get that green match first. So, all in all, I think it's gonna be a pain in the ass if they did not fix the matchmaking in some way, shape, or form, so that when you're at 1,000 notoriety, you're not going up against 0 notoriety people, only gaining 2 or 3 notoriety at a time, but then getting attacked for 50. I think the leagues are going to be similar, but I'm with Cable Guy in thinking that the leagues are actually going to be a little bit easier to attain. And I don't know how many Showdown coins there's going to be available, because when they said that they were bringing it up to 20k, they did say that they were doing it for that one event with the women last time.
Everything is in the air still.
So, but then again, they were only releasing Macho for WrestleMania, and I've pulled him since. So, it's all up in the air. I personally think it's going to be a shit show. I think it's going to take about 10 minutes to get through the zombies for everybody, no matter how many zombies you have. And then it's just a matter of grinding out the rest of Showdown to not max an event. And thus, in turn, your faction will not max the event. So
I don't think a single faction will max Broken.
I don't think it's mathematically possible, because you need everybody to hit the silver, and then 50 people
right?
need to hit the gold.
Yep. And I don't think even Booty has 50 people willing to spend $600 to max an event for a gold coffin.
I
That's
mean,
prize
you
wall
could
is.
probably knock it down to like 33 need to get the gold,
Even still.
and the rest, and then everybody of those 50 still needs to have Roman and get a second silver.
Yep.
It's, I just don't see the points there at all. Although the prize wall is a little bit better in my opinion. It's got plenty of dick hats for me to want to chase and hopefully get some taker shards out of some of those bags. So I'm being optimistic about it, but I think it's going to be pretty much a shit show.
I mean, yeah,
I'm just-
I don't really have much to add to either of that. That's pretty much spot fucking on.
I'm just chomping at the bit here.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna blow. I mean, I have
So-
everything like I was saying, but like, shit, dude. It's just gonna suck.
So here's the deal. This is maybe a few of you watched my breakdown video on it. Maybe you didn't. I really believe that Scopely releases events that simply are not designed to be. Sometimes releases events that are not designed to be maxed unless you want to spend what to a normal human being is a stupid amount of money on a digital game. Those events, if you look, I have to change the way I look at the game. I can't look at not maxing every event as a failure, or I have zero fun playing the game and I just get pissed off. Games are about fun. If you're not having fun, why are we even playing? So right away, I look at this event and I look at the cards I have, and even if I had everyone, $600 for a gold coffin? Are you kidding me? That's just dumb. Like, why? So no more is that the top milestone for me. If the showdown points work the way we think they might, then I can probably get to the second to last milestone without spending and get as many Roman shards as I can. So that is what I'm looking at as maxing the event for me. I think your faction, getting to the silver coffin and getting as many faction milestones as you guys can is the way to look at this. If you don't have very many zombies, shoot for that 5.3. Even that's going to be hard. But there are some good resources along the way. So I'm looking at the resources and looking at what I can get for free without spending through work. If you look at that, it's not terrible. The ladies showdown is the maddest I've been in this game. I literally had a breakdown, pretty much flipped out, and because I couldn't get anywhere. If this is like that, that's going to be rough. If they continue to work on improving it, okay. I'm fine with changes being made to showdown in general, as long as it's still completable. If they want to make it grindier, if they don't want to let us use fodder, fine. I'm okay with that, as long as it's achievable. So I don't necessarily think this is going to be bad. I just think I need to readjust what I consider good. It's not maxable. So for me, yeah, that's how I look at this event. It's not a maxable event. I'm telling most people go for the 5.3 milestone, or if you really are a glutton for punishment, the 7.9 if you have most of the guys and the showdown coins work the way we think they will. 1,000 is what we think the league cap will be, and we think there'll be a bunch more league things, whatever you want to call it, in there. But that's about we're gonna know in 6 minutes, but it's Lord knows what we'll actually get.
The biggest thing that gets people upset with Showdown is that Showdown has not previously been what's been considered a spend event. You know, for spend events, I think a lot of people have flipped to the mentality of get whatever I can get for free. You know, if it's a spend / do a little bit of stuff. And so I think people are having a hard time shifting that mentality when it comes to Showdown, because Showdown was the one place where most everybody could kind of grind and compete and could get some resources and such. And now with this one being more of a spend event, spend / grind, it's a lot of people are upset. It's not necessarily that they're not willing to change their mentality. It's just that, hey, you took something really good away from me. Why?
They're demoralized right now.
Yeah.
What it is Scopely is always looking for ways to change the game. It doesn't matter if it's feud. It doesn't matter if it's showdown. It doesn't matter if it's blitz. They have to provide. They have to provide new experiences across every mode, across every event, across every facet of the game to try to keep people engaged. Because doing the same showdown over and over again, yeah, sure, the majority of the player base loves that style showdown. Not going to argue it, but there's quite a few that don't like it. So what they do is they look, well, how many people are doing it? Okay, well, this is what we're going to change, so how are we going to change it? So, unfortunately, it was a good mode that they changed. Now, if this was feud being changed to a different style, not everybody would bitch about it. If this was invasions coming back and said, okay, well, we're going to do invasions, then feud, then showdown, everyone would bitch that they don't get enough showdown weekends. What it comes down to is you can't continuously hold on to, well, this was a good event. This is how every event should be. Because that's not going to happen. It is not realistic. This is a live operating game that they need to continuously improve or change up to try to continue to grasp attention, because they don't have any other way to grasp attention. You may not agree with it. I certainly don't agree with it. I've let them know my fucking opinions on things. I've told them, well, if you're going to change shit, why don't you change the shit nobody likes? But this is their argument.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Broken. Like, month-longs change, like, and the thing is, like, straps and medals, people resisted so hard on that, so many, and they fell way, way behind, and it was so easy to beat people not embracing that change. So whether you like the changes or not, you're going to be way better off trying to figure out how to adapt to it than you are railing angrily about how much it sucks, because guess what? It's probably not going to change as much as you want it to, and it's certainly not going to go back to the way it was, because the month-longs, we get like three or four in a certain way, and then it rotates to a completely different thing. Just when you start getting figured out best way to attack them, they change it again. So he's spot on with what he's saying. Crap, Broken. Is that 3 times today or 4?
That's the trifecta.
The game is going to continue to evolve. We all know that. And that's part of why there's so many of us that sit around and spend so much time talking about different strategies in the game and how to attack each event and how to attack each new character that comes out. And that makes for good discussion in the community, and it makes it interactive. And I personally enjoy the strategy. The last female showdown was way off the deep end for me in terms of grind, and I felt that it was way beyond what it should have been. I'm okay with them making some changes in showdown. That doesn't bother me. We'll adapt, make changes, identify, oh, now I need to go find something else to suit this. So now I have to figure something new out. I don't mind that at all. It's the evolution of the game. It's just the life cycle, right? Things change. They're never going to stay the same. We all have to adapt, or we're just going to get left behind. So, and the addition of the extra showdown coins, I feel is really great. I like being able to get a bigger chunk of showdown coins.
So
So
I'm not going to argue most of that. I think that the game definitely needs to change, like everyone talks about. Obviously, that there's parts of it that I'm not a huge fan of certain changes. Everybody should know. If they don't, you will know that I just absolutely despise the feud scoring change. That being said, it doesn't mean that I'm incapable of adapting to it. I still finished second or third in one of the recent feuds, and this is way after the feud scoring change. So, yeah, maybe I don't like it. Yeah, maybe I think it really fucking blows. But it's just part of what you do. It comes with the territory of the game. Do I wish that they changed it back? Abso-fucking-lutely. I wish that every single time that I look at a feud. But I deal with it. Fuck it. Find a fucking feud lineup. Make sure every single person can win, other than one, maybe two that are fodder, and get your points. Otherwise, you're going to be going there and you're going to have to feud twice as much as I'm going to have to feud, and twice as fast and twice as hard because you're using the same exact card.
exactly.
And it's not
Showdown
impossible.
time.
Not impossible. But
Fast and hard is the way to go.
anyway,
That's what she said.
it is showdown time, guys. If anybody wants to stick around, feel free. I think we're going to cut the recording relatively soon here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask us. Everybody should restart and go check out what the dealio is with Showdown. So wishing everybody some luck. And,
There's a step-up pack.
Oh boy, there you go.
And the zombie multi-pack where you can get shards of a bunch of different guys.
Ooh, are any
No,
of them
everybody's feeding up now.
any of those Roman cable?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of them.
Oh, I'll look at that then. I'll see if I want
Any
to
of them
use some
zombie
Roman.
taker?
But it's random, so
Oh, well, then never mind. All right, well, thank you everybody for coming on out to number 12. We are going to start the teens of the Roundtable podcast coming up in 2 weeks, which will be midway through this crazy 5-week event. Hopefully everybody comes out and joins us for it. Thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate you all. AJ, Broken, Flo, Cable, Sam. Thank you guys so much. And we
Thanks
will
for
catch you guys
having
next
us.
time. Absolutely.